So in Best for Last, we're going to play Dealt or Not Dealt. Alex, go ahead.
Starting with Odell Beckham Jr., dealt or not dealt?
I think he's going to be dealt. I don't think Cleveland's going to get what they thought they would get, but Baker Mayfield had 20 touchdowns and 2 picks once Odell Beckham Jr. left because of an injury. He was a more effective quarterback. The data doesn't lie. He's only played a full 16-game season once in the last 4 years, so he's become expensive and brittle. But he is explosive, and for a team that needs an over-the-top wide receiver, there is a market for him. He'll get dealt.
Sam Darnold, dealt or not dealt?
I think dealt. I could make a very strong argument the Jets should keep him, but he's got 1 year left on his rookie deal, so he's not expensive. Somebody can give him a tryout. Chicago and Washington are both really good defensively and desperate for a quarterback. And over 3 years with the Jets, he's 11-22. And I think in a market where the Jets are just dull and losing, I think spending a number 2 pick on a pizzazz college quarterback gets a lot of love and attention. And I think the Jets do stuff like that historically.
Jimmy Garoppolo, dealt or not dealt?
I'm going to say not dealt. First of all, as good as Kyle Shanahan is, he is 7-27 without Jimmy G in the starting lineup. I also don't think in a division with Matt Stafford, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray, you can bring in another quarterback who doesn't know Kyle Shanahan's system. It is a very comprehensive system where all the quarterbacks that have played in it are better in the second year. And also, listen, Nick Bosa's coming back, George Kittle's coming back, Deebo Samuel. They're going to be favored maybe in Vegas to win the division if Jimmy's back. So let's not overreact to Garoppolo. I think for 1 more year, they run it out with him.
And he's just got to stay healthy.
Right.
Russell Wilson, dealt or not dealt?
Not dealt. He's unhappy, but let's be honest, made the playoffs in 8 of his 9 years. They would be nuts to move off him. They don't have a competent backup, 3,000-plus passing yards. They are going to address, I'm told, the offensive line in the draft. They went out and got a kid last year from LSU, a right guard who's pretty good. Now they have to go get a left guard. But, I mean, to Seattle, you don't get rid of Russell Wilson. He's complaining mostly because he knows he's going to be there and he wants stuff done. If Russell Wilson wanted out, he wouldn't say anything. He just leaks stuff and not say anything. He's saying stuff because he knows he's there for the long term and he's unhappy.
Deshaun Watson.
Dealt. First of all, he wants out. He's willing to sit out. His agent wants him to move. He's also the best quarterback on the market. Translation, bidding war, meaning Houston has a chance to really, for 10 years, get 4 first-rounders, players. They don't have any picks as an organization. So they need picks. So moving him may be a blow, but they have the ability to move him. Not only get a bridge quarterback like a Teddy Bridgewater, but also draft a quarterback. So it's kind of the perfect scenario. If you're going to lose a star quarterback, can I get a grown-up bridge quarterback? And do I have the draft capital to get the next quarterback? The answer is yes, so I think he gets dealt.
Stefan Gilmore, dealt or not dealt?
I would say dealt. He ranked 99th best cornerback, according to Pro Football Focus. He had a bad year. He got injured. Bill Belichick's history is you move off earlier than later. Now, I do think he'll play better next year. And I also think he's probably no longer an elite number 1 corner, but every team in the league can use his leadership, his brain power, his understanding of concepts with Belichick. So I think there's a market for him at a right price, but I just don't think it's in New England. And New England, by the way, has been drafting corners last several years, so they got some young guys they like.
And those are valuable traits.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota, dealt or not dealt?
I think he's dealt. He's only 27. He's too talented to probably be a backup. He's not much of a cap hit. He's only owed about $10.5 million next year. So he's not going to jam up your salary space or draft capital. He's a starter. He won a lot of games as a starter. He had that great game this year against the Chargers where he had 315 yards. So, I think, again, somebody's going to roll the dice on him. If you get Marcus Mariota, you should have a capable backup because he's a fairly reckless player. But he's cheap. He's capable. He's won a lot of games. Somebody rolls the dice.
Michael Gallup, dealt or not dealt?
I would say not dealt. First of all, the last couple of years, he's given you 800 yards. 5 touchdowns, so he's a very good number 2 receiver. He's also an over-the-top receiver for Dallas. Amari Cooper's not really an over-the-top receiver. And right now he's not that expensive. It's also becoming a weapons league, and one thing the Cowboys do have is wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and Amari Cooper. So it's the one team strength. They may not want to move off that as a team strength. So he's a good player. He's not expensive yet. So I think they keep him.
All right. Zach Ertz, dealt or not dealt?
I don't know what his market is. I'd say dealt. He got banged up. He's had some injury issues. He's a little expensive. But I do think Philadelphia, they got the Wentz salary, the Zach Ertz salary. They haven't been a terribly good drafting team, but they've got a kid behind him they like. I think they want to start kind of getting younger on offense and less expensive, because they got Fletcher Cox and Darius Slay, who are both great and expensive on the defensive side. So I think if they can move his salary, it's probably something they would consider. He's still capable. I just don't know if he feels like a 16-game tight end. He feels like a situational tight end, a little Gronky, where he, like Gronk had, he's valuable.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to get 16, 17 games out of him.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, dealt or not dealt?
I don't think he's going to be dealt. He's pretty punitive. His salary's big. He's he's Derek Carr. He's better than everybody wants to admit. I also think they're going to be a better football team this year. He's not somebody that's going to carry an average roster. And last year, the Vikings defense, they lost a lot of people, they had injuries. They lost some free agents. It was bad defense. So I think they reboot this year. I think they'll double their wins this year. It's a good organization. They draft pretty well. They only have the number 14 overall pick, so they're kind of trapped. They're not going to be good enough. Maybe Mac Jones, but yeah, I kind of think Kirk's. They re-signed him to an extension, so they like him. He's a good guy. Never misses starts. By the way,
that's big.
All these quarterbacks on the market right now. Mariota misses starts. Darnold misses them. People talk about Garoppolo. He misses them. Carson Wentz misses them. Kirk Cousins doesn't miss starts, so there's value in that. There we go. Dealt or not dealt. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.